do you guys think that he's in the same league as Kane Williamson and Virat Kohli and Babar Azam? I was saying about Sam Curran that every time he plays for England, he does phenomenally well.
Yeah. And he still gets dropped in the next match.
Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Silly Point. I hope you have watched all our IPL previews. The IPL is now underway, but we're going to take a bit of a break from the IPL, given that today is just the first match. We're going to come back to it in a short while. Today we're going to talk about the England and Australia series that has just finished. We're going to review the series. We're going to look at the ODIs and the T20s in combination, rate the players, talk about specific players, how they did, how they performed, and potentially look forward to the T20 World Cup as well with respect to the T20 series. So all of that coming up soon. I've got Zahid with me. So Zahid, what were your thoughts on the series that has just finished?
Hi everyone. So of course, if you would have seen our preview of the ODI series, you would have guessed that I thought England are going to do a lot better than they ended up doing.
Did you go for 3-1? Did you go for 3-0?
I went for 3-0 in the ODIs. Actually, to be fair, if Australia didn't collapse in the second ODI, it could have been 3-0 the other way. But I guess, you have to consider the fact that England probably weren't full strength. Obviously, Ben Stokes is still missing from their full strength team.
Yeah.
Jason Roy did not play in the T20s. So although he didn't really do much in the ODIs. So there are obviously a few things that need to come together. I still think England are the best white ball team going around at full strength.
Yeah.
But, full credit to Australia coming in with no practice, especially in the ODI series, the way they fought. Obviously, Glenn Maxwell coming into form.
Yeah.
So a lot of positives for them to take. I mean, you can argue Steve Smith not playing means Australia are not at full strength, but we can come to that also.
I wouldn't judge England too harshly on this series loss. The good thing for England was the T20s.
Yeah.
I think they performed really well. Again, we're only a year out from a T20 World Cup. So I think that bodes very well for England. So yeah, I think it was a very competitive series, really good to watch. And yeah, I mean, why don't we just get into the player ratings?
Yeah, let's start. Should we start with, so we're doing T20 and ODIs together, right?
Yes, we'll look at both combined and see how the player has performed overall and what our thoughts are for him.
Sure.
Should we start with, well, it was no one was particularly the winning side. Both teams won 3 matches each. But let's start with the home team, England.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So should we go with Johnny Bairstow? He played all 6 games, right?
He played all 6 games, yeah.
He was good in 2 of the ODIs. I think he's been very up and down the entire season.
Yeah.
And similarly, his T20 and one day form kind of showed that. A good 100 in the last game after England were in trouble.
Yeah.
And I think overall, because of 2, pretty good innings in the ODIs, I'd go with a 7.
Yeah. I mean, he also scored a 55 in the third T20. So yeah, I'm happy to go with a 7. Again, no question marks over Johnny Bairstow, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He is England's best white ball opener.
Yeah. And then Jason Roy. I think his highlight of the series was that run out of Stoinis. I think that's pretty much all he did.
Yeah.
Apart from that, nothing. Failed with the bat. Yeah, probably a 2. Let's go Tom Banton next. I think he played in the T20s, right?
He was 8 of 10 in the first one.
He got under 10 in all of. He got under 10 in all of them, I think.
Yeah, and then when he opened, he was 2 of 6. So what? 0?
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, he was fantastic against Pakistan, but
well,
he's been exposed, or
no, not. I wouldn't say exposed. I mean, it's right. So one thing we should agree, right, that Australia's bowling is right up there. Better than Pakistan. So obviously that was a big step up for Tom Banton. I wouldn't say he was exposed. I would just call this a normal learning curve for someone that young, someone that inexperienced. So, yes, his impact for the series was a 0, but that doesn't mean he's not up there. He's a very good option in both the ODIs and T20s as a spare opener.
Yeah. True.
He's a good replacement for someone like Alex Hales.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
Coming on to Joss Butler, we can talk about him given that he opened in two T20s. I mean,
Yeah.
for his T20 performance, I would want to give him a 10 on 10.
Yeah, I mean, a match-winning performance
Yeah.
in the was it
In
the
the
second or
second,
the
second
second T20? Yeah,
Yeah, 77 or 54. I mean, he opened the innings and he played the role of a finisher as well. So he
exactly.
nicely combined his T20 and ODI roles. So,
Yeah,
I'd actually go 10 on 10 in T20s, but then 0 on 10 in the ODIs because so the thing with the ODIs was it just felt like he couldn't get going. He
yeah,
played 10 15 balls in both games,
yeah,
and then I think he was trying to hit the ball,
yeah.
hit the ball in the air. I think he was getting frustrated. So
And of course, the crucial drop catch of Maxwell in the last game.
yeah, that was big as
So
well. So I think
yeah,
maybe a 5 on
yeah.
average.
I mean, he is an enigma. I mean, let us know in the comments what do you think about Josh Butler. Should he just play as a pure batsman? I mean, his keeping has been very up and down the entire series.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is there a case for Johnny Bairstow to actually keep in the white ball format? Joe Root, I don't know what's happened to him.
I'll give him 2 for the 2 wickets he took in that final game. But apart
Yeah,
from that, it's really nothing of note. I mean, he struggled a lot. And but he got the 2 wickets in the third
he
game,
got two
right?
wickets in the third one, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
And
I
also in the last game, he got out again. LBW to Mitchell stuck to the ball coming in,
yeah,
which he got out in the World Cup in a similar fashion. So he still has that weakness, I guess.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, he's not improved. That aspect of it, and his batting this summer is completely. I don't know what's happened to him.
But yeah, for this I'd go with the 2 just for those 2 wickets he took. Lovely delivery to get David Warner out in the
Yeah.
first ODI, in the third ODI. Sorry, so I'll give him that.
Okay, and then the captain Owen Morgan.
Should we go to David Malan first because he
Oh
played
yeah,
the
of course. Yeah,
T20s at number 3? Let's go with an 8 because
yeah,
every time David Malan bats for England, he does something brilliant in the T20s, right?
yeah.
Not ODIs and tests,
The
but
world number one.
yeah, new world number 1 in T20s. So yeah, he looks at home.
Yeah,
He looks at home in the T20s. I mean, I would say he's almost playing a Joe Root role.
yeah,
Like that's the role you'd expect someone like Joe Root to play in the T20s. Obviously, England have decided to go down another route. They've not picked Joe Root in T20s recently. They've
yeah.
picked Milan, but that's fine. He's done brilliantly in the opportunities he's got. So um, I have a feeling that Root might struggle to get into the World Cup squad, in the
Wow,
T20 World Cup squad.
that's a big statement. But yeah, if you look at it, if they have a fully fit team
Yeah,
with Ben Stokes, Butler,
yeah,
I guess it's a toss up between someone like a Banton or Joe Root. Who do you want in that middle order
yeah.
as a backup? Owen Morgan,
Owen Morgan. I think
again,
he
very
had.
inconsistent.
Yeah, I mean his batting is always inconsistent. I mean that's nothing new,
Yeah,
but when he goes, then he goes,
yeah,
which is the case with him. His captaincy, obviously, at lots of places was absolutely amazing.
yeah,
In that second ODI to bowl out Chris Wokes and Jofra
yeah,
Archer, before the end of the 40th over, that was incredible. But then obviously also struggled in the last ODI by giving Adil Rashid the final over. I am never of the opinion, that in your last few overs you get a spinner
yeah.
to bowl. If
Especially when you had Mark Wood with an over
right,
left, you had
Tom
Archie with an
Curran,
over left. Yeah, you had
yeah.
Tom Curran who could
Well,
have bowled that over.
Archer couldn't
Archie
quite
couldn't
bowl
bowl, but he still
because
had an over left, right?
yeah. So
Um,
miscalculation, you
exactly.
could
So
call
I
it.
don't know. I think he was just trying to be too cheeky or something.
Yeah,
Miscalculation.
yeah.
That was just really, really poor captaincy.
I agree. I mean,
So overall,
I was going to go with a 5.
yeah,
I
I
think I
agree.
think I would have gone with a 7, even though his batting was pretty poor. His captaincy was fantastic, and the way he comes out,
Yeah,
right? Whether England are 100 for two, or they're 5 for 2, Owen Morgan comes out in a set way.
yeah,
He plays his own way. He takes on the bowling. So I
I agree.
really love that about him.
Yeah,
But I'll just go with a 5 for his inconsistent batting and that poor captaincy decision at the end.
Sam Billings?
Sam Billings, yeah, Sam Billings. Um,
Underrated.
Very underrated in my opinion.
100. Yeah.
I've always rated him highly. He obviously
100 and a
played only
50.
one ODI. He played one T20, but then he had 150 in the ODIs. So for me, it's an 8.
Yeah. Although there was ended up being a match losing 50, but 100. But he took England from pretty much a hopeless situation and nearly got them over the line.
What more can you ask of him?
Exactly. Yeah.
He's been around the squad for 5 years, right? He's
Yeah.
got very few opportunities, and I think he's the perfect backup, perfect middle order backup for someone like Stokes.
Yeah.
Stokes, Butler, whatever. Wherever you
True.
have issues in the middle order, Sam Billings is that perfect backup. So again, I feel he deserves a spot in the T20 squad and the ODI squad.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. So 8 for him.
Yeah, 8 for him.
And then Moeen Ali. Against Australia, he didn't do anything.
0.
Yeah.
I mean, what else can you do?
They didn't do anything exceptional with the ball either.
He
So
didn't do anything with the ball. And he captained in one game, and he
yeah.
scored 23 in that, and England lost that game as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go with a 0. I
Maybe a
just
one. I mean, he got 23, right? So
no 0.
uh, Joe Denley played one T20 game. got
I've
a
been
29.
29 or 19, which is not too bad of an innings, although England lost that game. But
Yeah.
you can give him a 5. Joe Denley, I cannot see why he's in the squad.
Yeah. Chris
Chris
Wokes.
Jordan. Oh yeah, Vokes. Let's start with Vokes. Vokes is what, an 8 for me.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean,
Amazing.
turned that game around. The second ODI.
Yeah,
A very useful batsman also. Some handy runs.
yeah.
So yeah, I'd give him an 8.
8 is good with
Yeah.
me.
Obviously, didn't play in the T20s, which
Yeah.
is
Which I think that's the way
yeah.
England's team is. I think, you know, you've got Archer and Wood obviously who will probably start in the T20s as well, and then you've got Tom Curran and Chris Jordan, who's a
Yeah.
brilliant Yorker bowler.
Yeah.
So coming to Chris Jordan, I think that he deserves an 8 as well because he did really well in the T20s.
Yeah, I agree. He,
He might not have taken too many wickets. His economy might not have been brilliant, but just his performance in those crucial overs, you have very
yeah,
few bowlers in the world who can do that. Someone like
yeah,
a Bumrah, maybe.
yeah.
You know,
That
playing in
penultimate over in the first T20, which England pulled back to win. I think that was a crucial over.
yeah, I
Um,
agree. So an
so
8
yeah.
for
Adil Rashid.
again, very hit and miss, very very inconsistent. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm a fan of Adil Rashid. I'm sure all our fans will know. I picked him in my top 5 ODI bowlers.
yeah,
I still think that he can do a very good job for England. But I think overall this series he's had an average impact.
yeah.
Obviously, there was that one innings that he had with Tom Curran. He batted really well.
With the bat, yeah.
With the bat, he was very good. So I'd probably go with a 5, which is kind of an
I'd
average.
go with a 6. I mean, okay, he
6, yeah,
struggled. Yeah, although he struggled. Obviously, that last over we remembered for, but he got Maxwell out
he
in the
did.
previous over, which is
Yes,
probably why he got that last over, maybe.
yeah, yeah,
He gave England a chance, and he's taken a few crucial wickets throughout.
yeah.
I think which one was that magic delivery board? I forgot who the batsman was. But he's done a decent job.
Yeah,
Uh,
so maybe a
so
6.
maybe a 6. Yeah.
Cool. Tom Curran.
Probably another 6, I guess. I mean, he's been again hit and miss. A few crucial overs at the deaths, but then he's had a bad couple of overs as well. So not very consistent.
Yeah.
One good performance with the bat also.
I
So
was going to say that his batting seems to be improving every time he plays. So
yeah,
that's only a good thing for England. They've got a
yeah,
spare batsman at 6, 7, 8. Who can
yeah,
probably come in and tonk the ball from ball 1.
yeah,
So I think that's pretty good for England. But yeah, his performance was average, so 6.
yeah.
I mean,
Sam Curran.
he's very good at bowling the slower balls.
Yeah,
Maybe not so effective in England, but might be more effective in India or the UAE, where he's going to play the IPL. So
Sam Curran doing very well in
uh,
the IPL. He played one game, didn't he? Or
he
two?
played one game and had a
Uh,
superb impact in that game.
I don't know why he keeps getting dropped. Poor guy.
Should we give him a 10 for that?
Yeah, 9. I mean, come on.
That
10 is like
So I was saying about Sam Curran that every time he plays for England, he does phenomenally well.
Yeah, and he still gets dropped in the next match.
but I feel like he's going to lose that charm if he plays consistently.
Could be used as a surprise package. So let's give him a 9.
A 9, yeah, fair.
Archer.
Archer, again, Archer was good in patches.
Yeah.
He's done much better in the T20s and ODIs than he did in the Test
Obviously.
matches. But yeah, maybe I'll go with the 7.
Yeah, I agree. I think
Yeah,
that's
he,
fair.
he
Up and
bowled.
down.
He took wickets.
He bowled 90
Consistently.
plus consistently.
He bowled 90 plus consistently, which is another big tick for him. So yeah, I'd go with a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark Wood again. Good pace.
Yeah. As
Uh,
always.
hit and miss again. He was very good. In a couple of the T20s.
Yeah.
Very good in the last ODI, but unfortunately didn't get the last over.
Yeah.
So again,
Which
I'd
is
give a yeah.
which is very disappointing for someone like him. I mean, I would imagine that he would have been one of England's go-to bowlers, irrespective of
Exactly.
what Adil Rashid did in the previous game, in the previous over. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm really surprised that Owen Morgan didn't go with Wood.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean his performances have been pretty decent in my opinion. He got 3 wickets in the first ODI,
Yeah.
and he got 3 wickets in the T20s. Like he bowled 4 overs, 30 for 1. That was his average
Yeah.
T20 bowling stats. So I think that deserves a 7.
Okay. Yeah.
6. Let's go with a 6. Sorry, Archer took more wickets than him. We gave Archer a 7, so 6 with Wood. 6 for
There you
Wood.
go. 6 it is.
Cool.
And I
That's
think
everyone
that's
for
it.
England, right?
I think that's it. So yeah.
Yeah. I think we've covered all the English players. Should we move on to Australia?
Yeah. In case we've missed anyone out, please let us know and just rate them. We'll give you the liberty of rating them.
Exactly. Yeah.
In the
And then
comments.
we'll mention your name in our next episode, and thank you for bringing it to our notice, and we'll let everyone else know what your score was.
Right. So Aaron Finch from Australia.
Finch was really good. Like
Yeah.
from a captaincy perspective, for me, like the way he marshaled his troops, the way he actually gave a very clear role to Glenn Maxwell.
Yeah.
Right now, Maxwell's role has kind of changed a little bit. He's going to come in and finish ODIs and T20s. So again, that change give him clarity on that. I think Finch has done pretty decently. I mean, his batting again was up and down, as you would expect for someone like Aaron Finch.
Yeah.
He
And
reminds.
actually,
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say the games that Australia lost mainly was due to batting collapses, which really, as the captain, you can't do anything about, right?
Yeah,
so it's
true.
not like they lost because of his poor fielding decisions or something like that. So
yeah. Although I'll say one thing against Finch, he reminds me of Shane Watson. In what way? Take a wild guess.
I don't know, man. Running between the wickets. Reviews.
No, not well. Reviews a little bit, but more. How he gets out, especially to Chris Wokes.
Yeah.
He gets out. He just gets stuck on the crease, and then Chris Wokes will bowl that incoming delivery, right? And he'll get LBW. And probably next series he's going to review all of them like Watson. But I think that's something that he needs.
Well, that was exposed in the India series, right? When Bumrah did the same to him.
Exactly.
Sharma.
So again, you can see a little shade of that. So he needs to keep working on getting his front pad out of the way.
Yeah.
And not get LBW in that way. So yeah, probably a 7 for me.
Yeah. David Warner.
He's got a new nemesis. He had Broad in last year's Ashes, and this year he's got Archer. I'm gonna go with a 4-3-4-3.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't do the first T20 is the only game that he did.
He scored a 50.
In, right?
Yeah, he scored a 50 in that, and then beyond that, under 10 in most of his innings. So I'm going to go with the 3-4. That really doesn't mean much. He's still going to open for Australia in all formats.
And for Sunrisers Hyderabad, obviously.
He's captain there, so he's going to do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah. Steve Smith.
Steve Smith.
Just his seat. Well, didn't play in the ODIs. Mystery
concussion.
3-2.
3-2. I mean,
2.
You know how we've had this conversation on our WhatsApp group, on our sillypoint WhatsApp group. Zayed and me are of the opinion that Steve Smith, he's a good ODI batsman and a good T20 batsman, but he probably doesn't count in the top 5 or top 10 even.
It won't be fair to have a go at him because there's no one to defend him. I think both of us are on the same page. But we leave it to the audience. What do you think? Is Steve Smith in the top 5 ODI batsmen in the world?
Yeah.
I don't think so, but
Do you guys think that he's in the same league as Kane Williamson and Virat Kohli and Babar Azam? Kane Williamson, Ross Taylor. Is he in the same league as these guys? So do let us know in the comments. We don't think so.
Quinton de Kock.
Quinton de Kock, yeah. So we clearly don't think so. There are a few other guys of the City Point team who vehemently disagree with us, but they aren't here to defend Smith.
Then, so we give him a 2, right? Steve Smith gets a 2.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah.
Stoinis?
Matthew Wade played 1 T20.
1 T20, I'm going to give
him
him
much.
2, 3.
2.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfair on him because he only played that one game. But because we gave Sam Curran such good marks on one performance, equally, Matthew Wade will give him a low score on a poor performance.
Okay. Stoinis is Australia's number 3 now.
Oh my God. Okay, fine. Not what I was expecting for him. I was expecting him to bat at 5-6 across the T20s and ODIs. Again, he got a lot of starts but didn't really convert anything.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the 5. Average.
Yeah, his bowling was not exceptional either. He didn't do anything.
He didn't get much of a chance, I think. Yeah. But yeah, he didn't bowl in the ODIs at all. So,
yeah. 5.
5. I think he was literally keeping the position, the position warm for Steve Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, Steve Smith didn't play, but yeah.
The big show.
Maxwell had a brilliant ODI series.
Yeah.
Right. I think if Maxwell would have played a couple of proper international games before the T20s, he would have fired in the T20s as well.
Yeah. Right? I think the thing you have to really highlight is the situations he came in when he scored those innings. Both Australia, they lost early wickets in the first game, and then the last game as well, they were 100 for 5, 70 for 5 actually.
70 for 5, yeah.
So taking them to winning position from there, I think. Yeah. Just because of that, I think I'd still give him an 8. Although his T20 was not good, he also got a duck in the in the second ODI. Yeah. But because of the impact that he had, I think I'd give him an
8. 8, I agree. I mean, his bowling has also kind of improved. I mean, he's okay to bowl 5 overs in an ODI.
Yeah.
Right. So that's pretty good. Mitch Marsh.
Again, good. Performances. He played really well in the T20s in the last T20 which they won.
Scored 39.
Yeah.
Yes, and he basically finished the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. He scored a 73 in the first one. So I think a 7.
Yeah. Against someone who we didn't rate much before. I thought it was.
I agree.
Stoinis versus Marsh, and we went with Stoinis really.
I completely agree.
They both played, and Marsh did much better. So
I'm surprised. I'm surprised, pleasantly surprised by Mitchell Marsh's bowling. Improved significantly. Even his batting, his confidence is there now to play that middle order role. So I think that only bodes well for Australia.
Yeah, Alex Carey, 5 poor games, and then
match winning. 100.
Again, if you look at the impact, right, you have to. I don't know, but then 5 really poor performances.
Let me also say he would have had a poor performance in the 6th game had it not been for a no ball by Jofra Archer.
That's true. That's true.
So I'm probably going to go with a 6.
Yeah. 6.
I mean, if he would have not done anything, we would have given him a 0. If he would have not scored a 50 or 100 in the last game, we would have given him a 0.
Yeah.
But because of that final game, we go with a 6.
Then
you got Patty Cummins.
Pat Cummins, yeah. I think overall a decent series. He started off really well in the T20s.
Not that level of performance that we've come to expect from him, but he had a good series.
I mean, he was expensive in the ODIs, so I think he went for a few runs.
Yeah.
So I guess if we look at it the way we were doing it, right, we judge players on their benchmark and the kind of standards that they've set. So by his standard, I think he wasn't as good as he should be. So for that, I'll give him a 5.
I was going to say I would say a 4 on his performance, but another point to note that he was vice captain in the ODIs.
Yeah.
And Australia won that series, so I'd give him 1 extra point for his, vice captainship, for his support to Aaron Finch, and so 5 for that. In total, we give him a 5. Stark.
Stark, I'd give a 7.
7, I agree.
I think,
He was his opening spells
yeah,
were really good. Like
yeah,
that's what you want from an opening fast bowler, left armer especially, getting the ball to come in, a few to come in and a few to go away, and
yeah,
bowling at 90 miles,
yeah.
top notch.
Yeah, but again, at times he was expensive. Even in the last game, he ended up being expensive.
With
But also that he was the crucial last over in the last game.
He won them that game.
He won them that game, the 6 and the 4 against Taj Rashid.
Exactly.
So
But I mean, come on, with Stark, you can expect him to be expensive.
yeah,
You know, it doesn't matter, I guess, to Australia if his economy is 6 or 6 plus, as long as he takes a couple of wickets. They've got someone like Josh Hazelwood who's bowling at an economy of 2.5, so it's
yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Coming to Josh Hazelwood,
Yeah.
I think he deserves an 8.
Uh, no, I give him a 7. He was very good in
The two
one
ODIs,
game, but
first two.
the last game, I think he kind of lost it, right? So
Yeah, I mean, he gave I think 60 plus runs in the last
yeah,
ODI, but then his first two ODIs combined, he gave less than 50 runs.
that's true.
So
That's true. His economy was phenomenal.
his
Uh,
economy was phenomenal, and the consistency, the test match bowling that he gave, I think that's
that's
brilliant.
true.
I think
Actually, he would have probably gotten a 10, right? So maybe we give him an 8, given
yeah,
the
8.
one
That's
poor
what I
performance.
said. Yeah,
Yeah.
8. Um,
Speaking of phenomenal bowlers,
oh,
Adam Zampa.
my man, Adam Zampa. The coffee connoisseur. Do you know that he carries he's got like a coffee machine that he
Really?
carries with him on every tour? Yeah. He's a
Yeah.
big fan of coffee and whiskey.
I think he got some magic coffee beans this time.
Yeah. And
Um,
and the other thing to note is that him and Stoinis have an incredible bromance going.
okay, yeah, I
They
wasn't aware
just
of
they
that.
just love each other. I mean, it's incredible, like the kinds of things they get up to, wearing some weird Hawaiian shirts and stuff like that on tour. So lots of fun, lots of energy. I'd give him a 10 for this tour.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, he's really improved, especially gone beyond his, well, what we thought he would be doing.
Yeah,
We just thought he's another leg spinner who's similar to, I guess, Adil Rashid in the way that he has very hit and miss, but this series he was fantastic. So,
I
uh,
agree. And
10.
one thing I must say, extremely shrewd by a
Yeah,
shrewd replacement pick by RCB.
yeah,
They've picked they've picked Adam Zampa in place of Kane Richardson,
yeah.
which is spot on for the UAE.
Yeah, no, very good pick. Well, question is whether they play both him and Chahal, but that's a different debate. We're not discussing IPL right now. um, but yeah, for his performances in this series, I
Yeah,
10 for him.
yeah.
Then
Then
Ashton Agar.
we've got the two T20 specialists for Australia, Ashton Agar and Kane Richardson.
Yeah,
So they both played
I
the
mean
three.
Agar got tonked by Butler in the first T20, but then he came back very well.
Very good performance. Again with Agar, I think it's about role definition. His
Yeah,
role is to bat at 7, finish games
yeah,
for Australia, and then bowl tightly, which he does all the time.
yeah. And
So
he finished this the third T20 also with the
yeah,
bat.
with the
So yeah,
bat, yeah.
7,
So
7.
a 7, I agree, 7. Richardson, he's a good T20 bowler, and it's down to Australia saying, right,
Yeah.
you are the third pacer. You're going to play all games, and that helps Richardson perform well.
Yeah.
So I would
Surprisingly, he didn't
probably go with a
finish.
6.
Yeah, surprisingly, he didn't finish his quota in two of the 3 games.
Yeah,
So yeah, 6.
6. Yeah, and I think that covers all the Australian players as well.
Yeah.
Again, if we missed out anyone, let us know. So yeah, that's our review for the Australia England series. And just putting it out there, I think that England have an incredible chance of winning the T20 World Cup next year.
It's hard to disagree given current form, but I think we'll do our previews and stuff nearer the time,
I'm
depending on what
just
the teams are like.
I'm just putting it out there so that our viewers can see that I've got this incredible foresight, and then when we actually do a review of the T20s next year, we can refer to this video and say, yeah, I should have bet on him. Should bet on
Well,
what he says. England
that's
India finals, England win.
I disagree there straight away. But anyways,
Anyways, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Please do like, share, and subscribe. And let us know if you have any thoughts, feedback. And yeah, see you next week. Bye.
thank you.